Dear Pope Francis, my name is Marie Dana, and in my 25 years of life, I have always felt called to a religious calling as a holy and future nun. Your Holiness, I am deeply, deeply concerned because your great niece, Sophia Bergoglio, is attending Georgetown Visitation Preparatory School in Washington, D.C. I am scared for her safety as long as all of the girls that are currently residing there are attending this institution, because in the Georgetown Visitation Monastery that is adjacent to the high school where your great niece is attending and thousands of young women, there have been serious physical abuse, psychological and spiritual torture, and financial fraud. I am concerned for all of those living in the monastery, many of whom are above the age of 80, are elderly, Alzheimer's patients, and disabled, who are unable to defend themselves. On July 11, 2015, I was physically assaulted by 3 of the nuns, 2 of whom are directly from Kenya, one who is currently applying for U.S. citizenship. I am deeply, deeply concerned for the safety and the well-being of all of those who are living there, because I am 25. I am small, but I was able only barely to defend myself before I was forced away from the convent against my will, which is considered felony kidnapping, and sent back on a plane to California, where I am speaking to you today. I was supposed to be there in person to greet you, Your Holiness, as at this very moment I'm sure you are speaking and changing Washington, D.C. in Congress. I now plea with you, Holy Father, to change the monastery that is torturing innocent, holy souls. Your Holiness, I lived there for 7 months. During my stay, I was told that any disbelief against their will would be considered torture, would be considered evil, and would be considered that of the devil. Any thoughts that I had of my own were immediately dismissed and told to be temptations from Satan himself. I believe that God freed me from that place so that I could speak with you safely, because had I not left, I might not be alive to speak with you today. There have been 5 suspicious deaths in that monastery in the span of 2 months, which warranted a coroner investigation from the city. I was there as 2 elderly nuns who had previously been perfectly healthy were sent home to God. I am asking and begging you, Holy Father, to protect the young women that are close to the monastery and the high school, and the 14 remaining women who may not have much time on this earth due to very serious nature of the convent, which include, but are not limited to, money laundering, fraud, bribery, working with the high school in a way that is not of God, and even something as serious as death allegations. There have also been, and I have taken pictures of, which I have posted to my website, which is facebook.com/nuncollegefund, as well as a Twitter account, twitter.com/nuncollegefund, where I have shown video evidence as well as hundreds of pictures I took in the 7 months of my stay, when I felt compelled to go and produce these images in order to help save the lives of those that are currently living there. I am begging you, Holy Father, please, please help these nuns and children that are being tortured and psychologically damaged, much like I was, and am currently still facing the fear and the neglect because the police do not listen despite my my loads and my lots of evidence that I'm trying to share with you now, in the safety, I pray, of California. I also wish to spend just a moment of your time, Holy Father, even though deep down in my heart I know this video may never reach you, to speak for the thousands of women, children, and men with a vocation calling like myself. I love the Church, Holy Father. I have always been a devout Catholic, and I have felt called since birth to become a bride of Christ. But because I am too poor, I have been suppressed by Georgetown Visitation and 9 monasteries, convents, and religious orders I visited in the span of a year. I want to be a nun, Holy Father, but I am too poor to take my vow of poverty. Your name, Holy Father, is after Francis, and much like Francis of Assisi and Francis de Sales, I urge you, Holy Father, to be brave and to fight for the poor, the oppressed, the marginalized, just like our Lord, so that all of those with a religious calling, all of those who just want to serve our Lord, may not be hindered by something as meaningless and worthless as money. Please, Holy Father, I urge you and beg you, as a humble servant and future nun, to abolish Canon Law 644, which prohibits women, men, and anyone interested in religious life from becoming a novice in a community simply because of money. I have a student loan, Holy Father, of $50,000 to St. Mary's College in Moraga, California. I am more than happy to repay this loan, even though it means that I must torture myself without becoming a holy nun for what will probably be 10 years, even though I have felt called for 25 to take my religious vows. Please, Holy Father, do not let thousands be turned away every year over something as meaningless and as worthless as money, when our Lord is poor, as were his disciples, followers, and friends. Please, Holy Father, I do not wish to frighten or alarm you. I only wish to provide you with evidence and hope, so that everyone who lives may know of your charity, may know of your kindness, and may know that you truly stand for the poor and the oppressed. Thank you, Holy Father, and you are deeply loved by myself and by all of your children.